foil. It's been an interesting day in the foil competition. The Italians progressed against Japan. Republic of Korea took out France. And so France and Japan now have to come back, dust themselves off after their semi-final loss, and fight off for a place on the podium. Here they come. Women's team foil bronze medal match is upon us.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, bitte halten Sie die Fechterinnen und Kampfrichter sowie Richterinnen im Gefecht und die Bronzemedaille im Damen-Florett-Mannschaftswettbewerb herzlich willkommen.
Representing Japan.
Für Japan, Ayano Imura, Yuzuka Takeyama, Rino Nagase, and Reina Iwamoto.
Representing France.
Und für Frankreich, Emma Mika, Garance Roger, Esther Bonny, and Océane Francillon.
The referees are
Die Kampfrichter sind Wilhelm Schaaf from Germany, Andriy Bakun from the Ukraine, Jaroslav Moyski from Poland, and Kelly Köhler from the United States of America.
Well, there's the lineup of the teams. France facing Japan for the bronze medal in the women's team foil, and that is Océane Francillon. She was part of the women's épée team for France who took gold yesterday, and she's now back out to fence again for the French. She's sitting on the bench. She is the reserve. I'm not convinced they're going to bring her on, but it'll be really interesting if they do. France lining up then with Emma Mika, Garance Roger, and Esther Bonny. Japan with Imura Ayano, Takeyama Yuzuha, Nagase Rino. They've got Iwamoto Rina on the bench. Japanese were taught a lesson in the semi-finals by the Italian team, 45-34. French lost out to Korea by a point. And the reason for saying that is Japan may come into this thinking, well, we've had Italy, the foil factory of the world, in the semi-finals. That was always going to be tough. We've got to prepare ourselves for a bronze medal match. France will be hurting, losing 32-31 on time to the Republic of Korea. Well, we need to see over the first three legs of this match how France have responded to a devastating loss in the semi-finals. Up first, Esther Bonny for France, and Nagase Rino for Japan. Nagase, a student at the Japan Women's College of Physical Education. Esther Bonny from Paris Dauphine University. Attack didn't land there, but the remise did. The continuation of the attack. Like I say, just attacking from a little too far away that time. Easy second hit for Esther Bonny of France in Paris-Riposte.
En garde, prête, allez. Halte, contre-attaque, non, voilà. En garde, prête, allez. Halt. Contre ripostant, remise non valable. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Halt. Attaque non, riposte non valable. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Halt. Reprise attaque touche. 3.
Well,
En garde.
early signs from France are that the team have come together after losing to Republic of Korea and said, that was hard, it was tough, but we should give us momentum
Remise non valable.
on the fight to go for the bronze medal here. And Esteban's fencing really nicely, very neat, very controlled.
Halt. Attaque par.
And it's classical. It's out of the textbook the way she fences. Hand in cease,
En garde.
body weight just a little bit over the front foot. And just that position is enough to let your opponent know that you're ready and you're up for it.
Halt.
It's a little blade happy from Nagase. Going for the blade as she steps into distance, and that is not a good idea. And the French have got off to the best of starts. Solid from Esteban. On comes Emma Mika, the lefty. And she will go up against Takeyama Yuzuha. The two lefties. Now, across the world, there is an average number of left-handers. It is considerably lower percentage in the general population than there is in fencing. In fencing, you see an awful lot of left-handers at the top of the rankings.
Can you fix?
And the reason for that is there are still more right-handers in fencing, but you don't face a left-hander very often. There's different lines of approach that you've got to go when you face up against a left-hander. So it's perceived, especially in young fencers, that lefties are more difficult to beat. Of course, they're not, technically, but you don't face them very often, so you're not used to, you don't practice the way to attack them, the lines that you attack them in. But the thing is, it's the same for left-handers. They're used to fencing right-handers, and that's why we see a higher percentage of lefties at the top of the rankings, because they know how to fence them. When you get two lefties on a piece at the same time, it can turn into a little bit of a mess. Because, of course, they're not used to facing each other either. It's really simple from Takeyama there. The part parry, think of it like a windscreen wiper going across the body. That's the block. And then just landing the riposte into the body. I can see that Takeyama is a little bit more comfortable than Mika. Mika finished 22nd in the individual event, Takeyama 10th. So went a stage further in the individual competition.
Attaque de droite non valable. En garde. Prêt. Allez.
Nice attack into preparation.
En garde.
Right of way at the moment is with Mika, but solid counter-attack from Takeyama. And if I was the Japanese coach, I would be urging Takeyama on here. Up the intensity, get level, and then take the lead. And I think that's exactly what the Japanese coach has said. This is an opportunity for Japan in the early stages of this match. Oh, video appeal called from Takeyama. So what the referees are looking at. Why is Takeyama called for the video here? Covering maybe with the back arm. Can't bring your back arm across the lame jacket. But I don't think it really had any impact on the outcome there. There's no turning. Well, the only thing I can suspect here is that Takeyama is asking for covering, and a card is... Whoa, that's a red card. So, was there a barge in there? Interesting.
On garde. Oh, sorry. En garde. Prêt. Allez.
Well, that's a free point for Takeyama. Well, I say free point. It was an infringement from Mika that elicited the red card.
Prêt. Allez.
Still a minute left to go in this match, and Takeyama must be thinking that she can at least get level. Well, I said it could get a bit scrappy, and that is the case here. To be fair to Mika, that she's trying to spoil the fight a little bit. She's taken a yellow and a red as a result. That's gifted one hit to Takeyama. Takeyama needs to stay neat and tidy and just find a way through to target here. Another one in close quarters. So far, so good. I just wonder whether Takeyama should be pressing just a little bit more here. They're likely to draw level here, Japan. But I think if she pressed a little harder at the beginning, they could have been in the lead at the end of this match. This leg, I should say. To be fair to Mika, she is doing a little more now than she was in the early stages, but there we go, level for Japan. Simple can't beat attack. Yama is still pressing. We're inside 20 seconds though. They could get a couple more here. If Takeyama keeps pressing, they could get a couple more. Target score of 10. Probably unlikely to get to it. Takeyama is pressing. One more would be really nice from a Japan point of view. And they're backing away. What a run here. What a run. 7 points to 1. And Takeyama has put the Japanese into the lead. Is it enough? That's the question. Is it enough? Takeyama is going to come on again in leg number 6. So there's going to be 3 fights before we see her again. Up next, Iemura, as Ocean Francillon looks on. Will the French think about putting the épéiste in for Emma Mika? My gut feeling right now is not just yet. Don't call that. Emma Mika, though, shipping 6 hits. Garance Roger on for the third leg for the French team. And she'll face Japan's Iimura Ayano.
Guard, red, and guard, red.
Doesn't get the round the world. Tuck your foil around the back of your head. Looks nice, but it was after the halt.
Attack, no bala. Guard.
Iimura berating herself there for not controlling the distance better.
Remise.
A hair malfunction, often the case in fencing. And if you've not been with us for the last 4 days of fencing, firstly, where have you been? Secondly, the reason the hair's got to be tied up is because it covers the lame jacket, which we get a nice view of here, that silvery jacket which defines the target area. And if your hair falls over it and the point of your opponent's sword hits your hair, it will come up off target rather than on target. And that's why the referees make sure that the fencers have got their hair all tied up.
Guard, red, and guard, red, and
So the French establishing the lead again. But Iimura is keen to press this one. She gets a yellow card there for core, pushing her opponent. But that's it's a little bit of a slap on the wrist. It doesn't make any difference. She can't infringe again. She'll get a red card. But it's a sign of how intense she is in trying to get to her opponent. What Garance Roger is doing here, though, is very clever. She knows now that Iimura is coming out on the attack, and she's saying, well, right, I'm going to let you try and attack me out of distance from too far away, and then I'm going to close the distance up. And so far, she's been able to get 2 hits in close quarters, and now she comes out on the attack. Target score in this third leg is 15, and the way this is going, the fencers could get to that target score. Counter riposte there from Iimura. First attack fails, is parried by Roger, and then the riposte is parried by Iimura. 1, 2, 3. Oh, but the referee shouldn't start the fight while the replay's going on. I'll have to go and have a word with him about that. And now it's Roger's hair that is getting in the way, and she's going to be asked to tuck it up. We didn't get to see the counter riposte from Iimura, but it was a beautiful hit, her ninth. And now she lands a lovely parry riposte. Second intention here. Really nice. So if you don't know the language of fencing, second intention is part of the game. It's basically like laying a trap. You do something that your opponent thinks that's your ultimate goal, but it's not. It's a trick. And it forces your opponent then into doing something, and you react off that. And that's a beautiful attack. This is a lovely little leg here for this bronze medal, France and Japan, both contributing to some really nice fencing. Attack from the left. Time wasn't broken there by Takeyama. I wonder what's going through Francillon's mind, the substitute in the French box. She got the gold medal in the women's team épée. She is an épéiste, and fencers tend to specialise in one weapon. They don't really venture into other weapons very often. But clearly the French have not come with a fourth foilist. And they've asked Ocean Francillon to step into the box just in case there's an injury, basically. I don't think she's going to want to come on the piece here. There's another attack for me from the left. Gareth Roger with the attack. And the referee's gone to have a look at the video of his own volition. But I don't think he's going to change his mind here. I think he thought it was attack from the left, but he said, well, I'd better just go and have a quick look. And we're picking up what the referees are looking at, and this will give us a good view now. Down to 40% speed, attack coming from the left-hand side. At no point is there any blade action. It did look like Takeyama went for an octave parry. I didn't hear anything. The referee comes back. It was parried. So that octave parry from Takeyama did clear the blade enough for the referee to give the parry riposte. Emma Mika went 7-1 down in her the second leg for France. She's looking on with great concern. She'll feel an immense amount of responsibility, as you do in a team competition, but the team around you and the coach really have to raise your spirits. She's coming on next, and she just looks like she's carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. You've got to think that Japan will be targeting her in the next leg. Well, a call for a video from Roger, but the referee doesn't need a video. He already knows that is core a core, and in fact, as you see in the replay, a deliberate release of the sword, which forces the referee to call halt, because if an athlete can't defend themselves, it is dangerous. Not dangerous as in anyone's going to die, but it puts them at a massive disadvantage, let's say. And if you do it deliberately to stop the fight, it's considered illegal. Well, you saw the French coach there, toujours, do this all the time. Press, release, press, release, press, go. It's not so obvious when your attack's going to come. Video review from Takeyama fails, so she's gone without a video now. See, press, release, press, go. And then in close quarters, Roger gets us to the target score of 15. That is some run from her as well.
Roger.
5 points for Itamura, but 9 for Roger. And we've been through the first 3 legs here. You've got to fancy the French. Bonnie and Roger have gone +9 in total. This leg number 4, and leg number 7 are going to be critical to the Japanese team. Emma Mika here went 7-1 down in her first fight. Like I say, Rino coming on for the Japanese team. Notice they haven't changed the scoreboard yet in the venue. And the referee has spotted it now, and he's asking for that for us to advance to the next leg. Now, I say that, but aha! I can see what's happened here. The yellow card has been given to Roger, so we are still in leg 3. They went and got off the piece, and they've come back on because the last hit was annulled. And the Japanese profit. Huge confusion in the Essen Messe. Most fencers went off the piece. Their teammates came on, and then the referee decided he was going to annul the last hit. That will be the end of it, though. So, a 9-6 run from Roger does finally finish the match. So let's have a look at how we stand. The Japanese are in the negative here. So take a look back at the last action. Back into preparation. Nagase has gone -5 in the first leg, 5-0 down. Takeyama went +6 on these indicators. Plus is good, minus is not. And Itamura has gone -3. So Japan find themselves 15-13 down. It's closer than perhaps we thought it might be, but Esteboni and Garance Roger have performed remarkably for the French team, but it looks to me like the Japanese team have called in their sub. So they've taken out Nagase, who was the one that went 5 down in the first leg, and they've brought on Iwamoto the Ina, a right-hander coming on. Now, that's a move from Japan that can be changed back because Nagase comes on in the penultimate leg, so they can switch the sub back out, but for the fencer that she's replaced. Emma Mika went 7-1 down in her first leg. So we see Jaroslav Moyski, the Polish assessor for this match, helping Iwamoto replace a body wire. Technically, all the kit should have been tested before they came out for this bronze medal match. But for whatever reason, that body wire has failed. And that should be a yellow card for Japan. I wonder whether the referee is going to give that out, or whether he gives some leniency because he thinks that maybe the testers didn't spot the failing of that body wire. That's why we've got a little halt in play on the right-hand side. Japanese box looking relatively comfortable, relatively relaxed. Even Nagase, who's been subbed out Iwamoto ready to go. Bit of pressure here on Emma Mika. She had a difficult first leg. Well, difficult first leg for her. It was the second leg of the match. And this time she'll face the right-handed Iwamoto Vienna. Now, it'd be interesting to see how she performs here, because do France think about bringing on their reserve, who's an epéiste, not a foilist? Ready to go. Leg number 4. France hold the lead, but only just. Well, this discussion is all about the yellow card, because Japan should get a yellow card here for faulty kit, but the referees decided not to give it, and the French coach is questioning that. And it depends which side of the fence you sit on, really, on that one. I'm kind of with the referee here. The kit's tested before they come out. If a body wire fails, it means that the test beforehand either wasn't done appropriately. Sorry, armourers, I'm not suggesting that you've done anything wrong, or the body wire's broken while she's been sitting in the box, and that can happen. So a little bit of leniency. No yellow card for Japan, even though the kit failed.
Ali.
So the attack's on the left. It was parried, but Iwamoto didn't land her riposte. There's the parry. She misses the riposte. So the continuation from Mika goes through. Interesting footwork from Mika. It's not classical. She does have advances with the back foot first. A little unorthodox, but there's nothing wrong with it. The reason for doing normally you would advance with your front foot going first and your back foot following it. But the reason for doing back foot first advance is because you surprise your opponent. Your body doesn't move when your back foot comes forwards, and then all of a sudden you're on top of your opponent.
Ali. Got break, Ali. Got break, Ali. Pare, repose novala.
Well, cart counter cart parry is Mika's response to the beat attack from Iwamoto. So she's changed her line of parry.
Release, novala. Got break, Ali.
Iwamoto penalised for going over the back line here. Yeah, she does. Good spot from the referee. tried her best to sneak the front foot back onto the piece, but if you go over that back line, the piece, you're going outside the bounds of the piece. France still holding that 2-point lead. Mika doing a better job than she did in her first leg. She's maintained parity. Nice hit from Iwamoto. Can't beat flick to shoulder to the delight of the Japanese fans. Watch this. Beats the blade there, flicks over the top onto the shoulder. It's a lovely hit, and it's a classic righty against lefty hit as well. Iwamoto's been called off here. Just see out time. Mika desperate to do something here because she's dropped another hit to the Japanese team. She's shipped 6 in her first leg. She's only shipped 1 here. But a 3-2 run from the Japanese sub. And Japan have closed the gap to just 1 point. Esteboni on next for the French. She goes up against Iimura Ayano. And just off to the left, just outside of shot, just looking at the French box. Just trying to see whether the French coach is thinking of bringing on Ocean Francillon, the épéiste. Doesn't look like that at the moment.
Latéral parade, riposte touche 3. On garde. Prête. Allez. Halt. Parade, riposte non valable. On garde. Êtes-vous prête? Allez. Allez. Attaque de gauche, non valable. On garde. Prête. Allez. Allez. Préparation, attaque touche. On garde. Prête. Allez.
Well, the Japanese drew level. France have re-established a lead for the second time in the match. And the Japanese pull ahead or level again.
Halt. Attaque non, contre-attaque touche 3. On garde. Prête. Allez. Halt. Contre-attaque touche 3. On garde. Prête. Allez.
French are not having this their own way here, but Esteboni is desperate to try and get through leg number 5 with the lead. Let's say she's the neatest and tidiest of the French fencers. Very classical look to her fencing.
Halt. Remise non valable. On garde. Prête. Allez. Halt.
Well,
non remise touche 3.
he's determined to keep the French ahead,
En garde.
but having to work very hard. Iemura doing a great job here.
Al. Attaque de droite. Non. Contre-attaque touche 3.
Well, on the counter-attack there, Bonnie re-establishes a 3-point lead. Iemura going for a weapon change. I think this is as much about breaking the momentum as it is anything else. She looks determined, doesn't she? Pressure for the French. They would have been expected to beat Korea. They lost out in that semi-final. They're not quite at the races here. That is because of the intensity of the battle, a battle for bronze medal in the women's team foil.
Halt. Mademoiselle. En garde. Êtes-vous prête? Allez. Halt. Tous les deux, attaque prise de fer touche.
Well, video appeal called here. And yes, I can see why. Septime coupe. Right. Well, just wait for it. Here it comes. There. It's so quick, it's so fast that it's difficult to see. But the beat from the right does give Iemura the right of way. The referee didn't clock it. He's been asked to go and have a look at the video, and he's now looking at 50% speed. And I think the movement of the blade after the beat wasn't direct to target. So perhaps the referee's called this spot on and given the hit to the left. No, he has changed it. Septime coupe. Riposte. Iemura closes the gap up to 2. Attack into preparation. Iemura trying to find the blade as she steps in this time. And that is why she was picked off. There's a yellow card for Esther Bonny. A couple of hits back for barging into her opponent. Or a court. Body to body in French. The one of 2 official languages of the sport. That's why we see here en garde. Êtes-vous prêt? Allez. That's French for en garde. Get ready. Go. Now, because of the explosion of fencing talent in Asia, English is also an acceptable language in the sport. And often you'll see when 2 Asian fencers are fencing, the only French you'll hear is en garde, prêt, allez. But then the description of the action comes in English. Second intention, para riposte. And now it's Bonnie's turn to call for a video review. Well, does she put in a quick beat there? I think she might have done. Right of way with Iemura, but I think that Bonnie has hit the blade. Very, very difficult to see whether Iemura managed to evade the beat. But that is why Bonnie is called for a video review. She felt that she got the beat. That suggests that she did. This might be another change of decision here for the referee.
Parat, riposte touche point. En garde.
He sticks with his
Êtes-vous
call.
prêts? Allez.
Parry riposte.
Parat, riposte touche point.
A little too sharp off the mark
Garde.
for Iimura. She didn't set that one up nicely.
Êtes-vous prêts? Allez. Attaque de droite.
Better. She dances into distance, has a little stop,
En garde.
comes back out, and
Prêt.
then goes on
Allez.
the real attack. And that's a better way to build a hit. Just straight off the mark. En garde, every prêt aller is not ready, steady,
Attaque,
go.
parade, riposte, non, voilà. En garde, prête, allez. Allez. Attaque, touche, point.
Well, because she won her last video appeal, Iimura goes for another one. He feels that she got the right of way. The referee had called it for Bonnie. And we go back to the video again. Referees Wilhelm Schaaf from Germany and Andrei Bakum from Ukraine.
Attaque, touche, point. Salute.
And there we have it. The hit stands. So 8 for Esther Bonnie. 6 from Takeyama. So they've got up to the target score after the 5th leg. But the French have opened the gap. On now, Roger on the left for France. Takeyama on the right for Japan.
En garde, êtes-vous prête? Allez. Halt, halt. Après halt, en garde.
Garance Roger scored 9-6 in her first leg against Iimura.
Halt, attaque de droite, touche, point. En garde.
Takeyama has other
Prêt.
ideas. The
Allez.
lefty taking the blade and getting the point. Just a single light on the box makes it easier, and that's a nice parry riposte underneath the arm as well. Circular ceased. Oh no, in fact it was an octave parry, going back up to the high line and then round to the flank.
Halt,
Back parry.
parade, riposte, touche.
The attack to the right is blocked, and even
En
though
garde.
Takeyama was quick with her remise, the right of way was with Roger.
Halt, attaque.
All of a sudden, this one started to sparkle a little bit as both teams sensed the opportunity to try and pull away.
Prête, allez.
At the moment, the wind is in the sails of the Japanese team and Takeyama.
Halt, attaque, parade, riposte.
Just about, but now Roger calls for a video. So this is the attack from the left, but it's picked up by Takeyama, and I think she's still going to get that. Even though Roger hit first, that gives Takeyama the right of way, and she landed her riposte in one action. So I think that the referee's going to stick with this call.
Parade, riposte, touche, point. En
He
garde.
does. Roger loses
Êtes-vous prêts?
her video.
Allez. Halt. La remise touche, point. En garde.
4-1 run
Êtes-vous
for
prêts?
Takeyama.
Allez.
Takeyama's the anchor for the Japanese team, so she'll feel she's got a big chance here. She's trying to build it with her second outing. She went 7-1 in her first outing, with +6 indicator, and she's 6-1 up here.
Attaque de droite, non valable. On garde. Prête. Allez. Attaque de droite, touche. Wow.
This is some run, and clearly Takeyama is the key player for Japan. She scored 6 in her first leg, she's got 7 here, and there's still 2 minutes on the clock. And she's 1 away, and in fact she isn't 1 away, she has taken Japan into the lead. That is a really important leg for both teams. Japan showing here that they can come back from a massive deficit. 30 plays 26, just a single point for Roger, and 8 for Takeyama. She's on a +13 indicator. Look, a plus indicator is a good indicator. If you get into double figures, you are doing the heavy lifting for your team. Garance goes -5 after her first 2 fights, and up comes Emma Mika for France, who is on a -7 indicator. She goes up against Iimura. She's on -5. This could be an intriguing battle between the, in terms of just performance inside this match, the 2 weakest members of the teams.
Garde. Garde. Prête. Allez. Acte. Garde. Prête. Allez. Contre-attaque, nous voilà. Garde. Prête. Allez. Attaque. Nous voilà. Garde.
Just about got away with that one because Emma Mika did land on target. She had the counter attack. The tips just crossing there, and that's why the white light came up. And Takeyama is coming on as reserve for Japan, and the coach going through instructions. You have to, it might sound obvious because Japan are leading, but you have to really fancy Japan right now, because the match has changed complexion over the last leg. 8-1 run from Takeyama. It wasn't a bad last leg from Iimura. She went down 8-6, but what she's done is she's forced the fight onto target score, which means there's less room on the scoreboard for the French to pull away. That's the whip to the backhand. Happens every now and again. It's painful. She'll shake it off.
Garde. Prêt. Allez. Attaque de droite. Touche.
Japan have taken control. France were up 25-22 after the 5th leg. And yes, the Japanese shipped 2 hits in that particular leg. But Takeyama came on in leg 6, put Japan in the lead. We are now in the final third, and you would much rather be in the Japanese shoes right now. Not just because of the score, but because of what order of matches come up next. Emma is coming on. Oh, sorry, Emma is on now, and the Japanese are capitalizing on that at the moment. You'd think the 4-hit lead they had coming into the match will be bigger when they come out of it. Roger, a tricky last outing. She went 9-6 in the first fight, and then 8-1 in her second. Mixed bag, and she comes on next. She goes up against the Japanese substitute, unless the Japanese team have decided to bring the substitute off. Iwamoto will come on, and Iwamoto did a good job. And 1 hit against the French in her first outing. Parry riposte. Emma Mika is shipping hits here. Well, that's 8 in a row for the Japanese team. Well, it's all about intention from Mika, and she just doesn't seem to be committed to those attacks. I'm not saying they're half-hearted, but she doesn't fully commit. And there it is, another one. This one, a prime riposte around the world. And around the back of the head. Japan licking their lips here. Just off target on the attack from Japan. Target score of 35, 1 away. We should get there with the time left on the clock. Oh, Mika, in her last outing, does stop the rot, but that is her first hit of the match. Yeah, she's got a habit of doing that, Emma Mika, running into distance and then pulling her arm back. And she's trying to find a way through, and the Japanese have spotted that in her style of fencing, and they're just attacking on preparation. So a whopping run again, 5-1. Japanese are in control now. Garance Roger coming on for the French. And the Japanese are stuck with the substitute, Iwamoto, the Ina. This is what the French need. They need the Garance Roger that appeared in the first of her 2 outings so far, where she went 9-6 against Iamura. I think it's safe to say the French will not be bringing on Ocean Francillon for the last match, because their best player is the anchor, and that's Esteboni. And she comes on next. She needs Garance Roger to close this gap up. Iwamoto, the way that she's fencing, looks like she is going after the target score of 40 in this 8th leg.
Ungar. Red. Ali.
Right on the back line. Just about staying on the piste. Taco fair. Tap off the blade. Septic, oh, so octave it was. Came around the other side of the blade. Garance Roger raking up the rhythm of the match.
On guard. Red. Ali.
Well, Iwamoto did get a beat on the blade here, but you have to, if you are defending, you have to have a much stronger beat than your opponent if you both beat at the same time, and that's why Roger scored that previous hit, and now she's getting on a run.
Guard. Red. Ali. Remise. No valable. Guard. Mask. Guard. Red. Ali.
But Garance Roger has decided that she's got to go after this now. Women's foil as a weapon has been through some changes over the last decade or so. There's a period in the era of Valentina Putsali, Ida Muhammad, of these diminutive athletes, tiny little targets that really just didn't do too much in the attack, and a yellow card given there for turning away from the fight. As Garance goes for it, look, you see it here. And in fact, it was covering of the target that the card was given. But back in the day, in the early 2010s, women's foil went through a phase where there were attacking fencers out there, but they really struggled to hit the defensive fencers because of their stature. They're very small, quite short, with tiny little targets, and kept very compact. And then came along the likes of Elisa Di Francesca, Ina Deraglatsova, Martina Battini, Alice Volpi, Ariana Errigo, and they went, right, we just need to be all-out attack, and get rid of this very patient, slow, tactical game. And they dominated for 10 years. At the moment, it's another fine balance in women's foil where it's evolved beyond the all-out attack to something in between the two. And it does make the sport interesting, because what you end up happening here is that you get fencers who fence a little bit further apart. And that's a good video call for the Japanese. They fence a little bit further apart. And when you fence a little bit further apart, you can't always be as accurate, so you get lots more off-target hits than you do on-target hits. And it makes for basically all of the time in a women's foil match being used.
Guard.
Sometimes you have to grit your teeth as a
Prêt.
team.
Allez.
You just have to see it out carefully. But what's happened here is Garance Roger has said enough is enough. If France are going to have a chance here of winning, they have to go after it. They have to push the Japanese. It's starting to boil up now. Last 3 legs are always where team matches start to unfold. 5 for Roger. So any more now, and she's going to start closing the gap on the Japanese. They came into the fight 8 behind. And now they're 5 behind, 4 behind. I think we're going to see a contrast. This is the bronze medal match you're watching in the women's foil. I think we're going to see a contrast when we get to the gold medal match, because we've got Republic of Korea versus Italy, and I think that is going to be the all-out attack version of women's foil. So it's a treat. We get both versions of the sport.
On garde. Prêt. Allez.
That's going to be a card for Garance Roger. She released her weapon to stop the fight from happening. She's saying the guards clashed. The French aren't happy with it. Yeah, you protest as much as you like. I don't think the referee's going to change his mind here. You let go of your sword. And the referee's compelled to call halt to stop the fight. We'll see it here. He's saying that the blade action from Iwamoto was what made her drop her sword, but it doesn't matter because the card stands, and it's a point for Iwamoto, and that's a ducking counter-attack because Garance, who berated herself there with a little nod on the hand, a nod on the head, she... Look here. Yep, oops, that was a mistake from me. He went in. Was she indicating a ducking of the head as well, perhaps? Maybe she wasn't berating herself. Maybe that was a signal to the referee to say, I think my opponent tilted her head. He's putting his hand in his pocket, and I think he might agree. Second red card, this time going to Japan. Initially, I thought Roger was berating herself for not preparing her attack. It was, in fact, an indication to the referee to have a look at ducking your head. If you go down, if you duck, you're allowed to duck in fencing, that's allowed. But you've got to keep your chin up, because if you duck your chin to your chest, you cover part of the valid target area with the top of your mask. That's why it's illegal.
Garde. Garde. Prêt. Allez. attaque, non. Contre-attaque, non valable.
Emma Mika looking on. And finished her 3 legs with a -11 indicator. And that is painful for the team. Esther Bonny is coming on next to anchor the French, and she's going to have an awful lot of work to do, but she looks like she's up for it.
Garde. Prêt, allez.
Counter-attack, now head. Did the head go down? Oh, no, there you go. So keeps her chin up this time in the ducking counter-attack, and that's why no card is going to come out. Just about on the line of tilting her head forwards, but not quite enough. 1 away from the target score. Bonny unleashes her attack.
Garde. Prêt, allez.
Attack goes through off target on the left, so the coloured light will not be giving us a hit.
Prêt, allez. Remise non valable.
8-hit deficit coming in to this leg for France. So Garance Roger has done a relatively good job in closing the gap. She'll probably want 1 more, maybe even 2, to give her anchor, Esther Bonny, a chance, and another counter-attack. And that takes us through to the 9th and final leg of the match. An 8-5 run from Garance Roger. Even though she's gained 3 points, she finishes the match with a minus indicator. Giving away more hits than she scored overall over her 3 fights. Moto finishing with a -2 indicator. So Esther Bonny has scored 7 more than she's given away. She comes on for France on the left. She goes up against Takeyama, who's scored 13 more than she's received. So the 2 highest scoring fences on the piece, lefty versus righty, for the final leg. Target score of 45. Bonny could do this, but she's up against the MVS, most valuable fencer from Japan. If she can get 2 more unanswered, it will put a huge amount of pressure on Takeyama. But she can't afford mistakes like that. Takeyama defending the outside line, defending her flank really well.
En garde. Êtes-vous prêt? Allez. Allez, attaque non valable. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Halt.
Both fencers intent to go around to the flank. The French coach looking on,
En garde.
understandably with a bit of concern.
Allez.
But, Bonny has closed the gap up by 1. Referee's going to go and have a look at this of his own volition. The French think they got the right of way, and I think they may be right. There was no real intention from Takeyama. She stepped into distance. And as the two referees look at the video review here, this is what they're looking at. Well, looking at it from that angle, does Takeyama ever stop on her way forward? She doesn't, and the referee is going to give that to Japan. They're 3 away here. Back to a 5-point deficit for the French. The bad news for them is the Japanese are 2 more hits closer to the target score. Takeyama needs to be a little bit careful on these attacks in preparation. She's backing out of them, and that can spell danger. Pin to the back line, can't riposte. Classic hit. Windscreen wiper parry.
En garde.
Here, and then the riposte.
Allez.
Attack from the right isn't going to be given off target.
En garde. Prêt. Allez. Attaque.
Japan 1 away from the podium in the women's team foil here at Rhine-Ruhr 2025. And that does it. The Japanese team come running out onto the piste. The referee calls them off because of the shake of hands required. But there's the celebration from Japan. They ground their way to victory against a strong French team who just didn't recover from their loss to the Republic of Korea in the semi-finals. It was a builder, that one, that's for sure. It took its time to get up to pace, but when the 2 most valuable fencers from each team faced each other in the 9th leg, it suddenly came alive. But Esther Bonny was too far behind and couldn't find a way through to outdo Japan's Takeyama Yuzuha.
Ladies and gentlemen, please clap your hands and get ready for the final of the men's AKT competition.
France face Japan for the women's team bronze medal here. The 5th day of fencing at Rhine-Ruhr 2025, the World University Games. The French got off to a fabulous start, going 5-0 up. Takeyama came on for Japan to put the Japanese in the lead before Roger came on in the 3rd to put France back in the lead. 15-13 after the first third. France looked like they were bossing the match. A low-scoring 4th leg, with Mika having shipped 6 hits in her first leg. Went for a game of containment and slowed the fight down. They fell away from the target score coming out of the 4th, 17-16. And then Esther Bonny came on, and Esther Bonny put the French back in control. But it was a battle of Bonny versus Takeyama, and Takeyama came back on for the Japanese in leg number 6 and went on an 8-1 run against Garance Roger to put the Japan team in the driving seat. Having used their substitute Iwamoto, Japan did not look back. They won their last 3 legs, 5-1, before Garance came on. Garance Roger to close the gap back up, but they trailed 40-35 going into the last leg, where Takeyama took on France's best player, Bonnie. The lead too big for Japan, and Takeyama took the gold, 45-37. Japan will be on the podium here in the fencing venue in Essen.